So we had quite the, I don't know, kind of an adventure getting here. This is not the place we were planning on being. The place we were planning on being, we couldn't get there, so we'll tell you about that here in a little bit. But first, though, we gotta eat. And so the original spot that we were going to be at is a place called Acre Lake. And I guess it's named after some dude, but Acre Lake is, it's like this, it's like an acre. That's how big it is. Really small. Really small. But it's, it's off the beaten path. We may have been the only people there. Nice little set up campsite right beside this lake that does have some trout in it, from what Game and Fish says. So there's like 2 ways to get to this lake, and so we take the shortest route and we pull in there, and yeah, the road's snowy, and so we pull in and there's some snow, yeah, but then there's big old pine tree down across the forest road. This is just like a 2-track. There were tracks, there was tire sign on the other side of that tree. So that tree had just recently fallen. So that's crazy. There was a fire here a couple years ago. All over the place up here, major forest fire, and so there's a lot of trees that are rotting out and falling over. We backtrack and we go to the first route to get to this lake, which is a real roundabout way, but it's like, all right, well, let's try that. Yeah, there you go. Major snow. Can't even see, where this road goes. This is crazy. And meanwhile, it's 90 degrees down in Tucson, and who would have thought there's still snow up here? But there is.
We started heading north again, and there was this tree that was leaning really badly. And I said, Bob, did you notice that tree when we drove by before? And he's like, no. And I think that's just happening. And it was like a larger, super, super tall pine tree had started to fall, and it rested up against, or was stopped from falling by, a tree that was like 1/10 the diameter of it. And it was just, that was the only thing keeping it upright. So we were looking at a lot of the other trees around us and thinking a lot of them could go at any time. So it's probably a good thing that we got out of there. That was when I made the joke about the beavers and all of the fallen trees, and how the beavers must be overwhelmed, and they're just looking around thinking, oh my God, where do I even start?
Totally. We're very concerned about the beavers. Last second plans, we just figured, all right, we'll drive up to Alpine and check out this place called Luna Lake, which is what we did. And there's a handful of people camping here, but it's very pretty. See the lake, it's the only thing. The lake's far away. Got to figure out if there's a trail to walk down there, because I don't want to unhook the truck and do that.
Hi. It's almost dinner time. We're all set up. Looks good. How do the lights look?
The lights look wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yay. We did it. We didn't even fight.
When do we fight?
Never. We never fight.
Yeah. I do have something I'm going to show you. In the last video, I showed you those apple boxes that I made. I'm going to show you it's my 12-volt battery and solar system, and how I have it set up. It's custom. Pretty cool. This is the first trip using it, and everything seems to be working out really good. I'll show you that in just a few. Right? The lake is way down there. So this campsite's pretty cool, but it's at Luna Lake, but the lake is way down there. So, it kind of sucks that it's not right here. But we'll check it out. We just got here, so still getting stuff set up. Slept good. I probably got down to the 30s, something, mid 30s maybe, upper 30s. It was chilly. I already had our coffee this morning. I'll get you a slow-mo. I'll get you the typical slow-mo coffee shot tomorrow morning. Say goodbye to Luna Lake. We're making the call to hit the road and get out of here because this wind is ridiculous. It's so windy that there's white caps out on the lake. So we just did an emergency download of everything, threw it in the back of the truck. It's a big mess, but we're packed up, so we're leaving. Let's see what Carrie has to say.
I'd like to come back when it's not windy, or not as windy at least. Yeah, we tried to walk down to the lake and we were 2/3 of the way there and we aborted the mission. So we're going to go somewhere where it's not as windy and have some fun.
So we've been driving for a while. So we drove through Sholo, Arizona, and then we continued westbound out on Highway 260, headed towards Payson. But that area like between Sholo and Payson there's a bunch of lakes and campgrounds and things like that. So we just rolled up on this place. It's the Willow Springs Lake. There's still snow on the ground in spots in the shade. The wind has died down a little bit, just because it's later in the day. I guess like almost 2 o'clock. So we're gonna give it a shot. The campground is closed here because you can't get into it because there's snow or ice. Like a perfect fishing spot down here. So we're gonna just do a little bit of fishing. See what we could do. There's supposed to be trout in this lake, and see what happens. All right, we're out of here. I don't know what we're doing. It's cold. It's super windy. All these campsites, they're not open because there's snow in them. I don't know. It's just freaking crazy. All right, so yeah, the mountain broke me. I left that lake and it's like, let's get out of here. So we did. So we went through Payson, worked our way down the Mogollon Rim. So we're like 2,000, maybe 3,000 feet lower, 20 degrees warmer, and we are at Roosevelt Lake. I think it's the main watershed for all that stuff up there on the rim. Like when it comes down to the south, it all goes into Roosevelt Lake. So that's where we're at. We're at the schoolhouse campground. So we've never been here.
Where are we going to fish, Bob?
I don't know.
We're going to have a boat. The pasta is in the pan over here, keeping hopefully a little bit warm. With the wind, it's hard to keep anything warm. We learned that last night. Our food was good, but yeah, it kept getting cold. So, but yeah, it's here in this, and hopefully it's staying kind of warm. And then this is my new pan that's not Teflon. It's a green pan that Bob got me for Christmas. I was very excited about. And it says you can use metal utensils on it, but I don't think it's good for it. So I've been trying not to, but all I have is metal, so I got to get some more wooden. So yeah, hopefully I don't mess it up.
All right, so 36 years ago today, on April 19th, back in 1987, I met this cute little chick working at McDonald's down the road from my house.
Catalina and Bear Canyon, which is not, it's something else now. It's been something else for a long time.
Yeah, it's like a Chewy's or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. 36 years.
Most important day of my life.
Yay. What are we doing about power? Everybody's camping or setting something up's got to think about that, right? So the first thing we did was we got a Jackery. It's the Jackery 1000 Pro, which is totally cool. Totally happy with it. Thing works great, and it's like an all-in-one thing, right? You have the batteries and you have the inverter and the solar connections into it, all that good stuff. They're really convenient. But you know, what if one component breaks down? Then you're out of luck, you know. So I decided I wanted to build one myself, so we'd have two systems to work with, and build this one, you know, from the ground up. So in the last video that we did showed you the apple boxes. Well, I took one of those apple boxes and I turned it into, you know, a power station. So all the power goes into this fuse box right here. Right now I've got them coming out to a couple USB outputs and a cigarette lighter output. This bottom one right here is really cool, super helpful, because it gives you the current voltage of the whole system. You can tell how much battery power you have left by how much voltage it's putting out. Right, so this one right now is putting out 13.2, which is telling me it's somewhere around 60% capacity right now. So we have the main power leads that go into the apple box, right? So inside the apple box, it's we have a 150 amp hour battery, and that is connected with some, you know, very short leads to the inverter. So this inverter is a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, so it'll run anything, and we'll see how it does when things get really hot, because I've got ideas for an air conditioning system. And then also stuffed back inside this thing here, the solar charge controller, we have two 100 watt solar panels. We'll either power up the Jackery, and it can also resupply power for the Apple box system, and they plug directly into the solar charge controller, and then that is what feeds the power into the battery. That's what we've been using, and that, along with the Jackery, has given us plenty of power. You know, we really don't even need to plug in the solar panels unless we're going to be using it for like 3 or 4 days straight. But yeah, that's it. That's how we get our power. Woohoo. All right, we're packed up. We're getting out of here. You know, this trip was nothing went right.
No, it didn't. Not one thing.
It was still fun. Had a good time. We didn't get we didn't get to our planned destination. The weather didn't cooperate. There was a lot of spots where, you know, there was still snow up there. It was
very windy.
Very windy. So I think jumping off the mountain and coming down to Roosevelt was a good idea. You know, just to get out of the cold and the wind and
yeah, the weather there was great. Yeah, it might have been 1 week, might have been enough time for it to be perfect up there.
So yeah, maybe by the beginning of May, everything would probably be fine up there. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you again soon. Laters.